Okay, so I'm working on the Honda CRV today, and mine's a 2005. This applies to all 2002, 2006 Honda CRVs. And what I'm working on today is I want to replace the PCV valve and the PCV hose. And what can happen is, over time, on these Honda engines, or any engine for that matter, the PCV valve will suck a little bit of oil in. It can get clogged up, get dirty. It can run to slightly poor mileage, poor performance. If PCV valve gets stuck open, there's a few ways that you can tell that might be going on, or if it's stuck closed. Let me give you an example here of what's going on in our cars. The PCV valve is actually located between this compressor and the manifold, kind of down low. So if I zoom in here, you can see there's a hose, and there's that little yellow mark. That is actually the hose going into the PCV valve. And the hardest part about this job is getting your hands in there to remove a clip. And there's a clip that looks just like this, and the tong that you need to remove, they put facing down. And it makes it kind of tricky because if you zoom out here, you can see there's really no room to work. So a couple good ideas: you can unbolt the core support here and pull it away, give yourself a little more room. I'm going to see if I can try to get it without doing that. Try to get some needle nose pliers that I can finagle down in there and try to get that clip pulled off, because I'm going to replace that whole hose, and all that hose does is it runs around and then goes in the intake manifold here. Okay, so here's another problem. If you look at my hose, you'll see that it is collapsed on itself. So probably just from old age, this hose is completely pinched shut. So it's obviously not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm going to remove that whole hose and replace it with a new one. Let's see, I got it. This is the part number for the hose right here. Here that is. And then this is a washer that goes between the PCV valve and the engine block. This is one of those clamps. I figured they're really cheap. I just order one in case I lose one or break one taking it off. Probably that one. And here's the actual valve itself. And here's the part number for that. And I would only recommend going with a Honda PCV valve. You can run to your parts store and get one a lot cheaper, but unless you want to do this job a bunch, or immediately for that matter, again, just buy the Honda parts and do it right in the first place. All right, you're gonna come at it from the side angle here, but you can see what I'm doing. Remove this clamp first. Take one off on the valve itself, which, since I'm not raising this hose, if I have to cut it or something, not a big deal. Okay, I have to try to get these pliers in here. Maybe. We're gonna try it like this real quick. Nope. Yeah, I could feel the tangs with my finger. Alright, well, I tried. You guys sometimes work smarter, not harder. So I'm gonna pull all these plastic clips out. Alright, so I took two bolts out on this side, got this loose, pulled this way, and unbolted the plastic. All this is 10 millimeter. It holds the coolant reservoir here, so it's loose. I'll be able to move it out of the way. Let's see. Got the clamp in a good spot. I just need to get the hose broke loose. It's been on there a long time. It doesn't want to just pull off. All right, wow, that was a bear. but it is off of there now. That light's gonna show up on camera like it's flickering, but it's out of there. So now we'll just take the PCV valve out. All right, so you can see the valve. You take a 17mm socket. All right, just fits on there. I'll just put a wrench on there and break that loose and spin it out real quick. Okay. So do that. Now you can take it off by hand. So there's our old one. You can see how nasty that is. It's still moving though. So that's good. Change oil a lot. This part might never go bad. Definitely doesn't move like the new one. So there's the difference. Okay. So go ahead and put that new washer on there. I'm going to thread this right back in where we took the old one out. All right. You can see the hole where it goes there. Just get it started by hand, then we'll tighten it down. And it is a crush washer, so it's got to be in there pretty tight. All right, so now that we got the new one in, we're going to put the hose in. It goes in this way. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to use my new little clamp. I'll start it and I'll put it up further than it needs to be. And I'll get this pushed on here. And get that clamp slid into place. All right, so pain in the ass factor. This one's pretty high up on the list just because the amount of space you have to get in here and work. So I basically just took the needle nose pliers and came at it from this angle here and put the clamp up towards the top this time. Just slowly worked the clamp up into place. There's no really easy way to do it. I'm sure there's a tool to use. I'm sure like at the Honda dealer, they've come up with a easier way to do this job quickly. But that's all there is to that. So we've got the bottom part of the hose on now. Now this is easy, obviously. We're gonna take the clamp off the other hose, slide it on here, and just clamp this into place real quick. That'll take 2 seconds. Alright, so that's on there. We get down here, there's a little clip to hold the hose. So clip that back into place. And there's our PVC breather and our new PCV valve installed. So now don't forget, we're gonna put the front of our car back together. So really all you needed to take out was, go ahead and put this back into place. And then remember the coolant bottle is bolted right here to the radiator. So we'll put that back on there and put all our brackets back on. Just remember where all your bolts go. I don't really think you needed to, I mean, you might need help to remove these over here just to make this loose a little bit. But definitely need to get the coolant bottle moved and get this out of the way to give yourself a little more space to work in the front. But that's all there is to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being easy, 10 being the hardest, I give this about a 7, just for the DIY home mechanic, just because it is really tight. Cramped corners is not like as easy as changing your oil or something like that, but it's definitely doable at your house. And I don't even want to know how much a dealer would charge to do this job, but so the total I've got wrapped up in this is around $35 with all the parts. And we'll just make sure this engine continues to run for another 200,000 miles trouble-free. So if the video was helpful to you, be sure to like it. Leave a comment if you have any questions, subscribe for more, and until next time, we'll see you later.